The stage is set for one of the most electrifying quarterfinals of the UEFA Europa League this season, as Rangers go head-to-head with Spanish giants Athletic Club de Bilbao. The first leg took place under the lights at Ibrox on Thursday, the 10th of April, with the return fixture looming just a week later in the intense atmosphere of San Mamés. The buzz around this tie isn't just on the pitch, it's also rippling through the fan bases, who are absolutely desperate to be part of these two massive European nights. Bilbao supporters received an official allocation of 2,634 tickets for the match in Glasgow. But that number hardly scratched the surface. Over 4,400 of their fans applied to be there, meaning a ballot had to be held to decide who'd be lucky enough to witness the action live. That's how much this game means to them. And when we talk about ticketing at this level, there are strict rules. UEFA regulations demand that home clubs must offer at least 5% of their stadium's total capacity exclusively to away fans. That section must be segregated properly and have full access to all services and facilities for the entire time those supporters are inside the ground. It's not just about safety. It's about creating a proper football environment where even the traveling fans are treated with respect. And get this, the price of those away tickets? It can't exceed what home supporters would pay in a comparable section of the stadium. That includes everyone. Whether you're a season ticket holder, a club member, or someone who bought tickets through a promotional offer. UEFA put a hard cap on those prices too. No away ticket for a Europa League match can be more than €40. That's about fairness and making sure traveling support doesn't get priced out of the occasion. It's a regulation that keeps the spirit of the competition alive. And with Rangers and Bilbao both boasting passionate vocal fans, it's gonna be a battle off the pitch as much as on it. But as if the anticipation for that match wasn't enough, there's a seismic shift happening off the pitch at Ibrox as well. The long-anticipated takeover by the American consortium, led by Parag Maratha and Andrew Kamenetsky, is edging closer to completion. The foreign Nordnecio via 49ers Enterprises Group, who already have a strong foothold in sport with their ties to the San Francisco 49ers in the NFL, are deeply involved in the deal. All signs now point towards a full legal approval by the end of April, paving the way for an official announcement and a brand new era in the history of Rangers Football Club. For a fan base that's lived through years of uncertainty, financial troubles, boardroom shakeups, changes in leadership, this feels like a moment of real hope. Maratha is juggling his commitments with Leeds United, who are still pushing for promotion back to the Premier League. But make no mistake, his eyes are very much on the blue side of Glasgow. Alongside Kamenetsky and their wider team, momentum is gathering quickly. The goal now is to finalize everything before the summer transfer window swings open. And that could be massive. New ownership brings fresh perspective, fresh energy, and most importantly, fresh resources. A proper summer rebuild could be on the horizon. New manager, new players, new ideas, and above all, long overdue stability in the boardroom. That's something Rangers fans have been crying out for. The timing couldn't be better either, with the club still fighting on multiple fronts. They're in the thick of a European campaign and very much alive in the domestic title race. Securing. The takeover before the summer means the new regime can hit the ground running and build something sustainable for the long term. Of course, in the meantime, Barry Ferguson remains in charge on an interim basis. The former captain has stepped into the hot seat and immediately made his presence felt. Since taking the reins, he's already guided the squad to a dramatic 3-2 win over Celtic at Parkhead, a match that instantly went down as one of the most memorable Old Firm clashes in recent memory and steered the team into the last 8 of the Europa League. That's no small feat. Ferguson might be in a temporary role, but the impact he's made is undeniable. That said, he wasn't entirely satisfied with the team's recent performance against Dundee. Despite a stirring comeback victory, Ferguson was quick to highlight old habits creeping back in. He didn't mince his words post-match, admitting he was baffled by some of the decisions made on the pitch and stressing that certain behaviors just won't be tolerated moving forward. He and his staff are determined to fix those issues, with a full week of training ahead to work things through on the grass. Still, one thing that can't be questioned is the spirit and resilience of this squad. That same grit was on display in the Celtic match, where Veljko Černić etched his name into club folklore with an unforgettable performance. His wild Watergate-style celebration after Hamza Igani's dramatic late winner set off a storm of emotions on both sides of the Old Firm divide. That image is already iconic, and one Rangers fan has gone to extreme lengths to secure a piece of that history. Černić's signed match-worn shirt from that derby thriller was put up for auction, and it sparked a frenzy. The bidding war escalated quickly, eventually reaching a jaw-dropping $24,000. A British supporter ultimately outbid a determined rival from the UAE, whose best offer stood just over $2,100. According to the auction details, all proceeds from the sale are going back into Rangers development projects. A win for the club in more ways than one. Incredibly, that wasn't even the only jersey up for grabs. James Tavernier's shirt sold for just £77, while Cyril Désir's top went for a more modest $480. The contrast is striking, but it just goes to show how much symbolism and narrative matter to football fans. Černić's shirt wasn't just a piece of fabric. It was a moment frozen in time, a memory of defiance and celebration that will never be forgotten. And while Černić has avoided any criminal repercussions for his antics, the Scottish FA may still weigh in. The governing body hasn't announced any sanctions yet, but retrospective punishment remains a real possibility. The investigation into his celebration has officially been dropped by police, but the drama might not be over just yet. Still, for many supporters, that night at Parkhead has already become legend, but as the dust settles from that unforgettable derby night, attention now turns to what could be another landmark moment in the club's modern history. Rangers chief executive Patrick Stewart is preparing to face the fans head-on in a major Q&A event scheduled to take place at Edmiston House on Wednesday, the 23rd of April. This forum promises to be a unique opportunity for supporters to have their voices heard, with Stewart stepping into the spotlight alongside key members of the club's senior management team. While the club has hosted fans forums in the past, this is the first time the sitting CEO himself will be taking the lead, marking a significant shift in how the leadership at Rangers is choosing to engage with its passionate fan base. The timing of this event is no coincidence. With the team enjoying renewed energy under Barry Ferguson's interim stewardship, the atmosphere around Ibrox has been steadily lifting. There's a sense of forward motion again, and that's not just down to results on the park, it's about connection. The fans have long demanded more transparency and dialogue from the top brass, and this forum could be a crucial moment in bridging the gap between the boardroom and the terraces. Supporters are expected to ask about everything from financial, planning and transfer strategy to stadium development and youth investment. In a season packed with twists, turns, and off-field turbulence, Stewart's willingness to face the supporters directly might be a turning point in restoring trust. Meanwhile, on the pitch, Ferguson's influence continues to be felt. Despite only being in the job for a short period, he's managed to inject a sense of identity into the squad, a bite and belief that have been missing in recent months. Alongside his backroom team, which includes club legends like Billy Dodds, Neil McCann, and Alan McGregor, Ferguson has brought a no-nonsense approach that's resonated with both players and fans alike. His Rangers side are far from perfect, but what they lack in polish they make up for in heart. That was clear in the comeback against Dundee, where even in the face of defensive lapses and moments of chaos, the squad rallied together to secure the win. Still, Ferguson isn't one to sugarcoat things. After the match, his words were sharp. He pointed out the mental lapses, the careless decisions, and what he described as old habits creeping back into their play. There was a sense of frustration in his voice, but also determination. He made it clear that he and his staff would use the training ground to drill those mistakes out. With a full week to work with the squad, there's a belief inside the dressing room that they can iron out the issues before they face Bilbao again and keep the domestic pressure on as the season reaches its defining moments. This blend of off-field, transition, and on-field resilience has created a unique energy around the club. Fans are dreaming again, not just of silverware, but of something bigger, stability, progress, identity. After a decade of false dawns, financial strain, and managerial turnover, Rangers supporters are cautiously allowing themselves to believe that a new era might finally be taking shape. And while there's still a mountain to climb both in Europe and in the league, the direction of travel finally feels right. Of course, one of the flashpoints that continues to spark heated discussion is the fallout from the Old Firm thriller, particularly the antics of Veljko Černić. His water-soaked celebration after Hamza Igani's last gasp goal at Parkhead might have gone viral for its sheer madness, but it also drew the attention of authorities. With beer, water bottles, and limbs flying everywhere, his expression of pure joy became a symbol of the chaos and passion that defines the rivalry. The police may have dropped their investigation, but the Scottish FA could still weigh in. While no official sanction has yet been announced, there's speculation that retrospective disciplinary action remains firmly on the table. Whether a ban is coming or not, Černić's moment is already the stuff of Ibrox legend. And speaking of legends in the making, the auction for Černić's match-worn jersey only added to the mythology. What started as a modest listing on Matchshirt, auctions exploded into a bidding war for the ages. Within just 24 hours, the initial handful of bids has surged past the 400 mark, reaching figures no one expected. By the third day, just after the derby, it had become a two-horse race between a UK-based supporter and a persistent bidder from the UAE. When the dust finally settled, it was the Brit who walked away with the shirt, paying a staggering $1,000 for the privilege. To put that into context, Tavernier's shirt from the same match fetched a humble £77, while Desair's top drew just under 500. The gap is outrageous, but it speaks volumes about how certain moments in football transcend logic. Černić's celebration wasn't just funny or dramatic. It captured a moment in time, one that fans will be telling stories about for years. For the winning bidder, that piece of fabric now holds more meaning than most medals ever could. And knowing that the money is being reinvested into the club's youth and development projects only adds to the value. Rangers are a club built on moments like these. Big nights under the lights at Ibrox, ferocious battles with their oldest rivals, and fan bases so invested they'll pay fortunes just to own a slice of history. But beyond the nostalgia, there's real progress happening now. With the 49ers-led takeover gaining momentum, the board preparing for direct dialogue with supporters, and the team showing character on the pitch, the pieces are slowly falling into place. The next few weeks will be critical. European glory is on the line. The league title is still within reach, and the future of the club, its structure, strategy, and soul is being redefined right before our eyes. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. The whispers surrounding Ali McCoist's potential return to Rangers in a directorial capacity are growing louder, igniting intrigue and speculation among fans. Could the legendary striker, who once lit up Ibrox with his goal-scoring prowess, be set for a boardroom role at the club he holds dear? The prospect of McCoist stepping into a leadership position behind the scenes has sent waves of anticipation through the Rangers community as supporters eagerly await official confirmation or denial of the reports. And McCoist, whose history with Rangers is etched into the club's folklore, has remained a prominent figure in Scottish football, both as a pundit and a former manager. His tenure as Rangers boss between 2011 and 2014 coincided with one of the club's darkest periods, navigating them through financial turmoil and back-to-back promotions. Despite a rocky end to his managerial stint, his deep-rooted connection to the club has never wavered. Now, speculation suggests that McCoist could be set for a return, not in the dugout, but in the boardroom, shaping the future of the club from a strategic standpoint. With Rangers eager to solidify their long-term vision, the appointment of a club legend in a directorial role could serve as both a symbolic and practical move. McCoist's experience, passion, and understanding of the club's identity could be invaluable in bridging the gap between the football inside and executive decision-making. However, questions remain. Would he be willing to take on the pressures of such a role? And how would his presence influence the club's sporting direction moving forward? Fans have been vocal in their reactions, with many welcoming the idea of McCoist's return, citing his unwavering commitment to Rangers throughout the years. Others, however, remain cautious, recalling the turbulent end to his managerial reign and debating whether a fresh, more business-oriented approach is needed in the boardroom. The balance between emotional attachment and strategic competence will undoubtedly be a crucial factor in any decision regarding his appointment. For now, speculation reigns supreme, and the wait for official word continues. Will Rangers bring back one of their most celebrated figures to help steer the club into its next chapter? Or is this simply another tantalizing rumor destined to fade away? The anticipation is mounting, and all eyes are now on Ibrox for what could be a significant development in the club's leadership structure. Greetings, fans! Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.